Okay, gang, we're looking at the last piece here of the Material Manager package, and it's a little bit overkill to be a video, but some people like videos, so here we go. The last thing we're going to look at is using a sealed property. So we're going to look at a little code. We're going to look at how it looks in Unity. So one of the things that's always sort of fragile is, hey, I want to tween some color or whatever. I want to have a mapping to a color property on a material. I want to make changes to it. Um, can be fragile to do that if you don't want to use a full material collection. You can use a sealed property. All right, so we have sealed versions of all of the managed properties that you're used to seeing in material collections that you can write right into your mono behavior or whatever and modify. So we'll set up a little example here. So we'll just Oh, Unity's going to recompile because I added some comments to the code that I'm about to show you, so I don't forget what to tell you. It's going to screw up this video. Yeah, we're not editing this. We're doing it live. Come on, Unity. No, we're going to edit it. No, we're not. All right, it's done. Changing my mind. Okay, so we'll plug in example material here. We've got a color property to modify. If we look, it's now black. You know what? Let's add another tab. Pop open an inspector. We'll lock this one so that we can see. And then over here, we can, of course, change our material. Now, this is modifying the material directly, okay? I don't know why you're compiling about that. Anyway, all right. So this is our little mono behavior property usage example. It has a public material. It has a public sealed color property, right? And so we could put in here sealed float property, sealed vector property, sealed HDR, etc., and it'll give us the right sort of color picker. And when you put this in here, you just go ahead and make a new one and name your variable, right? We don't need this to be exposed. We don't need 2 lines of user input. We want it to be nice and clean. And then in on validate, in this case, all we're doing is we're doing apply property to material as long as there's material modify assigned. And this will just directly modify the material. Now, you maybe don't want to do that, right? Because you don't want to break batching or whatever. Or you need to instance off materials, right? Like maybe this needs to be a reference to the base material, and then you're gonna secretly make your own instance, apply it to your render or whatever. Um, you can also work directly on material property blocks. So I have a little pseudocode in here for you as a reference. So you can have a material property block and apply your changes to that property block, and then have your renderer apply that after you make any changes. So if you want to use material property blocks to not break your batching, it's all set up for that. And that's really it. It's okay, this is fine again. Goofy Unity. So that's really it. That's sort of the last piece. I like this pattern because I like to be as defensive as possible. I don't like people screwing up strings or accidentally clearing a thing or, you know, shaders and the stuff they go with needs to be very tightly coupled. Very smart guy I worked with referred to it as like we're making watches, right? Every little piece, if you want it to be as performant as possible and you want to be as tech debt free as possible, every little thing needs to work together. And so this lets you have nice controls that are easy to use without worrying about, you know, typos. There you go. All right. Any questions or concerns? Let me know in the comments and enjoy.